So we're going to get started. Let's just you have probably about 10 to 12 minutes each, and I know you have to go first because you have another commitment. So we'll do that. I'll do a quick introduction, and then let's see. So the Reentry Conference started in 2013, and this is our 7th year. And our theme for this year is standing through all crisis, and that may resonate a lot with some people because people go through enduring incarceration, and so the COVID-19 is probably nothing. And if you lost someone in a homicide, that's a little bit more difficult. But we are standing through all crisis because we are the biggest creation in God's eyes, so we have that capacity to endure anything that comes to us. So last year we had 625 registration for the Reentry Conference, and then 550 people attended. We had over 90 nonprofits tabling at the event center at St. Mary's Cathedral in the bottom part. And we had 10 panel discussions going concurrently with that, with breakfast and lunch. And as I say in each session, especially around lunch, I say that we only have happy hour. And that means that we're gonna be happy with this session and do the best to present what we have this way until we're able to meet in person. The 3 core services that we have are, we have a presence in the county jails in Marin County, San Francisco, and San Mateo, including juvenile facilities. And then we have some presence in San Quentin. We have a big chapel, and we attend the men there. Of course, not now because COVID-19. And then, let's see. So that's one service that we dedicate ourselves to in our mission here. Then the second one is whenever someone dies on the streets, we go and do a prayer service right at the location of the crime, and then we try to work with families in their grief and their healing, and then we try to attend the families who have someone in jail and in prison. People come to us from other facilities within the 9 counties, just because maybe they were incarcerated in another jail, but they live in the city or within these 3 counties. So we're gonna go look at, I'm gonna allow you to share if you're gonna share a screen, but also we're gonna go and look at a couple of videos from our side to show you a little bit about what we do. And let's see, are you able to see that? Yes, okay. So here we go.
Hey, Julio, there's no sound.
Oh, I did, okay. 1 second here.
So exit, stop share. And then go back. So click the video, this one, but then you have to check these 2.
Oh, okay.
And this one.
Is that when there is a...
Let us pray. Come, Holy Spirit, to this place. With this sprinkled water, come and redeem this space and people from the pain and violence that occurred here. Return it as a safe place, a place of love, a place of life, a place of hope.
So we have a ministry in our archdiocese that many of you are familiar with, restorative justice. And part of the ministry is that when there is a murder, we go to the murder site. We do pray as hard as we can for the person who was killed. We pray for the neighborhood. We pray for the family, friends. We pray for everybody affected by this violent act. We pray for the person who has taken a life, asking that that person might be truly repentant and maybe know the mercy of God.
The prayer service on the streets happen because we care for the people that are our brothers and sisters, regardless whether they're Catholics or not. When someone dies in the streets, our role in the Archdiocese is to go and pray for that soul, to support the families, the survivors, and family and friends that have suffered the loss. We become present on the streets with the Spirit of God in the absence of the person that has died and to support the family. The church needs to be present always.
We feel as Catholics, as Christians, that we can't just sit by and watch. We need to be present. We need to be expressing our faith. We need to be praying and affirming that life is stronger than death and love is stronger than death, and violence does not have a place in the world God created.
Working with victims and survivors of crime and homicide in this case, it's one of the pillars of restorative justice. The other pillar, of course, is working with the offenders and then working with the community.
I think this is real church, that you and I and Julio can come out here and spend a few moments in prayer for a brother. Into your hands, God of mercies, we commend our brother Leo. Turn toward us today and listen to our prayers in a community that suffers this terrible loss. And I think what restorative justice does is makes him have a name and a story. And he has grace and he has dignity. And we are with him in prayer and in spirit as he goes home to the God who gave him to us. And I think that's the beauty of this ministry. It's I can say from going out here on several visits with Julio that it's a grace.
The Lord calls us to work with the poor, work with the most needy. And so we again become present in making our faith an action step of our hope and our love through Jesus Christ our Lord.
May we pledge to work toward a world free from violence and self-destruction and full of love and hope. May we commit ourselves to building a community that is humane, compassionate, just, and filled with dignity. Amen.
So that's one of the things that we do here, and I'm looking for my other video here. This is about reentry. No? How do I share it?
You pause screen sharing, it says.
I did.
Yeah. Why don't you exit out and then start again on this one?
Okay. Right there.
I've been in prison for 28 years. I've been out for 62 days.
I've been incarcerated for 28 years, and I've been out for, today is my 30 days.
I was gone for a little over 25 years. I've currently been out for a little over 78 days.
Restorative justice is about working with families that suffer from a homicide. Restorative justice is about working with the incarcerated, the perpetrators, as well as their families. And that includes working with the community to bring resources to them and ultimately bring the two sides together.
I was 15 when I got incarcerated for the first time. It was for battery.
The first time I was incarcerated for 3 months. Yeah, and then I kept going back at it for violation of probation. So I went back 4 times.
We bring the gospel to between 30 to 50 kids a week.
Julio helped me a lot on developing my faith. When I was in there, I was reading the Bible, and I got to a quote where it says, God gives freedom to prisoners. So it got me interested.
The restorative justice program helped me with my education. And when I started coming here, I started leaving my old habits little by little.
When one is incarcerated, the whole family is incarcerated. So if this person reaches the point of success, spiritually speaking, then we know that the family will also be benefited from that success.
Everything has a consequence, and I don't want to do stuff that will get me back in prison or in jail.
That's our hope, that's our faith, and that's our love for the people that we serve.
If the program wasn't here for me, I don't think I would be where I am now. I don't even think I would be in school. I don't think I would be here outside. I think I would be incarcerated right now. I think I would.
So that's a bit about, in a nutshell, what we do in video format and testimonials. We're going to start with the San Francisco Public Defender, Mano, Raju. Thank you for being here. I hope I said that right once again. So welcome to the Reentry conference. You need to unmute yourself there. You need to unmute yourself. Yeah, there we go. Welcome to the Reentry conference, and share with us about the public defender and how he serves the people of San Francisco.
Sure. Well, first, my name is Mano Raju, the San Francisco Public Defender, and I want to say that it's a true honor to be invited here to speak with you all. Those videos that I just saw were actually quite moving to me, and I'm so honored and privileged to be, able to engage with the San Francisco Archdiocese and in this restorative justice ministry. Is quite beautiful work. So many of you know my predecessor, Jeff Adachi, and I know he's participated in this event in past years. And he's actually one of the reasons that I came to the San Francisco Public Defender's Office. I was in Contra Costa before that 12 years ago, and had a very, aggressive, focused trial style, because I really wanted to provide my clients with the best representation possible. But one reason I came to San Francisco is I really love the fact that this office, in addition to encouraging vigorous advocacy in court, was also committed to community at the same time. We have our magic programs, and to me, those go hand in hand with each other. In many ways, the fact that, not only do we support reentry work, but understanding that this conference is about restorative justice, I feel a great responsibility, both as an elected official and as a human, because I really believe we are all interconnected, right? So all of your work is going to impact not just your client, but the entire community. And we do have the responsibility, not just to our clients, but to the entire community. And I think that's something that I continually try to study up on and develop, and we're engaged currently in processes around restorative justice, and deepening our ability not just to do restorative justice, but to do it well. When we lost Jeff last February, there's no question in my mind what he would want us to do, which is to keep pushing and push our office to the next level, because that's something he was constantly striving for, and that's something I'm also very much committed to. And that's about not just providing zealous representation, but holistic representation, which means it's vigorous and community centered. So we're trying to fight for our clients' rights and also build them up and aim for long-term success. So we're not just trying to fight to get the best outcome in their particular case, but we're also trying to set them up for the best possible future, regardless of the outcome of the case, right? Because we don't want to see people slip back into the system. Our office represents over 25,000 people a year in San Francisco criminal court, and those are our community members. And the way I've tried to encapsulate what we do is that we build, we fight, and we heal, okay? And when I'm talking about building, I'm talking about building trust with our clients, I'm talking about building trust with their families. Like, we've instituted a rule in our office that for a felony attorney has to reach out to a member of our client's community within the first 10 days. That can be an immediate family member, it can be a friend, it can be however they define community, and that's just the beginning of the process. But in addition to having a substantial meeting with our own clients within the first 48 hours, we also want them to establish a meeting with a community member or family member of that client, because we realize that every client is also a member of a broader community. And what happens to that client is going to have ripple effects to the entire community and to those people who love them. And that's why it's very vital that we represent an individual as a member of a community. So I want the attorneys and the entire staff in my office, attorneys, social workers, paralegals, IT support, investigators, to really make sure they are fighting for the best possible result in the case, and to remain hopeful that we can accomplish a great result. Because, you know, Brian Stevenson, who's one of my heroes, he says that hopelessness is the enemy of justice. So we have to maintain hope, and we have to fight through aggressive legal advocacy for our clients. And I'd love to, if there's a way to conduct this experience, I'd love to do that, where the mere fact of truly being seen by your advocates, truly being heard, and truly being fought for, that itself can be a real springboard to a better future. Because you feel, there's so many of our clients feel like they haven't been seen, feel like they haven't been heard, feel like they haven't been listened to, feel like they haven't been fought for. And at this critical time, if we can provide that, independent of the outcome of the case, that can often be a springboard to a better future. And I also feel that can be healing for people, to feel like, wow, this group of attorneys, or this public defender's office, the social worker, the paralegal, the investigator, the attorney, the IT staff, whoever was coming connection, they really had my back, and they were really fighting for me. And I actually view us as being a public safety office. And when I say that for this reason, because people often think of the police, district attorney, sheriff as public safety. I think that we're public safety. And the reason I think that is, first of all, if we're doing our job properly, I want us developing that trusting, empowering relationship with our clients, right? So when they leave, we know, hopefully we know what the client's strengths are, we know what their weaknesses are, we know what their growth pattern is going to be, we know if they need rehabilitation services. We have all that institutionalized knowledge. So it only makes sense. The last thing we want is for someone at the end of our representation to slip back into the system, right? We want people to thrive. What I don't like, one of my pet peeves is hearing attorneys saying, stay out of trouble. Staying out of trouble is a very low goal. We want our clients to do more than stay out of trouble. We want our clients to be thriving, you know? So I'm looking for a situation where we're having people, connect someone up with a tech internship, connect someone up with Mission Hiring Hall, connect someone up with rehabilitation services, maybe enroll in City College. Like, I'd love to be in a situation where, you're meeting with people in 3-month cycles and almost coaching them. Okay, this is where you are in 3 months. What's your 3-month plan? What's your 1-year plan? What's your 5-year plan, right? We want people to not just stay out of trouble. You want people to go towards something, not just away from something, right? That's the vision I have about what we do as a public safety office. In an effort to reduce recidivism, we have a team of reentry social workers that address social and behavioral needs of our clients of all ages and try to connect them to support services such as housing, employment, substance abuse treatment, mental health treatment, educational programs, and other stabilizing programs. We work with Episcopal Community Services. I see Katherine Powell here. Does amazing work. Progress Foundation, Baker Places, Health Threats 360, Delancey Street, Salvation Army, Latino Commission, senior ex-offender program, supportive services, you know, just to name a few. I'm also very proud of our Clean Slate program, because that's a team that helps people clear their record so they have more access to jobs, housing, educational opportunities, and financial resources. That information is on our website, and you can send a message to our team to get started. It's sfpublicdefender.org. You can go to that website. If anyone wants that, they can send a message and get that progress started. They can also call our front desk. 553-1671 is the number to connect you to a Clean Slate team member. Another area I'd like to touch on is our post-conviction relief team. I mean, so many times people have made so much progress, and really the sentences are just too long. And I almost feel like if people actually went to the jails and went to the prisons and met people and got to know them, so many of them, once you meet folks, you'd be like, they don't need to be here anymore. They can be going home now. But what we need for that is to make sure we have the appropriate wraparound services to make that happen. There was a change in the law, and it's like getting too technical. It's a section called 1170D, which allows the district attorney to bring a motion to change, to modify the sentence. But in order for the district attorney to do that, they need the information. So we will often do a lot of the background work. We'll do the social history of the client. We'll try to get more understanding of why the plea or the conviction happened to begin with, because oftentimes it's very different than what the paperwork reflects. Provide that all information to the district attorney so that they can file that motion to get that sentence vacated. We've been very successful in getting many sentences changed so that people are actually able to be released, and they're thriving right now. These efforts have expanded during COVID, where in addition to you know, getting people released because the sentence may have been too long, there's an additional reason for it, which is the health benefit, right? Because it's difficult to maintain social distancing when the jails and prisons are too crowded. So we're also filing motions in appropriate cases to get some of the sentences shortened. You know, there's a wisdom that you can sort of judge a society by the way that it treats its most vulnerable people. And I think that's morally true on some level, but now it's actually scientifically true, because we're seeing that impact through the spread of COVID. And I think that's something we need to be very mindful of, that a lot of the times when we're dealing with issues of law and justice, we're really talking about public health issues, and we should treat them as such. So these are some of the things we're working on right now, and we're trying to keep on moving and improving in all those areas, the areas where we build and collaborate. And you know, that starts with our magic programs. We have a B Magic program in the Bayview and the Mo Magic program in the Fillmore. The area where we fight, because, you know, frankly, a lot of people in this country think that defense attorneys don't really fight hard enough for them or skillfully enough for them. There's this term public pretender, or this person's a dump truck. I don't want anyone saying that about anyone in my office. And if they think that, let me know, because we'll talk to them. Because I know we want people to perform at a high level. And when I group you, I want people bringing it in court, because that makes the whole system work. And then also, we're also trying to work on the healing portions. So building, fighting, and healing. So we think that is the way that we can actually transform our criminal legal system, such it's an empowering one for all. So individuals both get justice, feel empowered, both them and their communities, and it also contributes to public safety. So with that, I'm from the East Coast, so I talk a little fast, but really I wanted to get a lot of information out to you all. And thank you so much for taking the time to hear me. I really appreciate you.
Thank you, Public Defender. We are going to be in touch. I just posted our new project, Excel Network, which touches a little bit in what you're saying there. The launch of our new project is today. So we hope to be speaking with you about it. If you have a chance, I'll be in touch with Valerie to give you that website if you didn't see it there. I'll email that information to her, and maybe we'll have a conversation. One of the elements we're gonna have there is a Restorative Justice Radio through 1450 KEST 1450 Radio AM to talk more about restorative justice and create awareness. And so we hope to be inviting you to share more about what you have to say and how to empower the community, as you have stated. We're gonna move to the next presenter. I know you had to go, and let me see if there are questions also for you here. Yeah, so there are no questions, but if there are any questions, because you have to leave, we're gonna forward that to Valerie, and hopefully there's a response to if anything comes up during the course of the session. But we wanna thank you for being present in this type of events, because this is where we need officials to be part of, the events where organizations take place and share in what they do, and also the relationships that we built. So if you can post maybe your contact info that they're asking on the chat here, so maybe they can be in touch with you, but we will find that maybe during the course and post that too if you don't have time. So
absolutely, and let me again say, I absolutely look forward to further. I see this as the beginning of a relationship with many of you on this call. So I really look forward to connecting, and it's more difficult during COVID times, but I think there's a lot of opportunities for tremendous collaboration with the panelists on this call. Yeah, I'm happy to see it recording, because I'm going to try and watch a lot of this later on.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for being with us. We're going to go to our next presenter, and we're going to change our view here to welcome Katherine Powell from Episcopal Community Services of San Francisco. Welcome, Katherine. Again, share with us your unique services and how they benefit the people of San Francisco.
Hi, Julio. Thank you very much. I'm very pleased to be here. I too found the videos that you shared moving and also inspiring at the same time. And I am going to share screen while I what we do, and poco a poco, I'll get there. Okay. Here we go. Get to see my email. All right. So, as it was said, I am representing Episcopal Community Services, Workforce Development Training and Education. ECS is, most of you probably know, is a big nonprofit, and we provide supportive housing and senior services, and we also provide education and job training, which is what I'm going to talk to you about right now. So the Workforce Development Department offers education, training, and then also support for the next steps in our participants' lives. I want to emphasize that our program is very much a learning community. People really come together and benefit from supporting one another. It does look different now during the COVID situation than it did in the past, but I'm still noticing students being able to support one another in our distanced learning situation. And also we're starting to be able to have people back in the classroom, just a few at a time and physically distanced. But a lot of our students are saying they missed the community aspect of the program. And also the programs are very much participant focused on helping the participants articulate their goals and then also realize those goals. We're committed to the success, obviously, of our students. So what we offer, the Next Steps Center, I'll get more into that. That is job training and career advancement. We also have established a program that is essential service jobs training, which I'll explain more. We have chef's culinary training, which is exactly what it says. In food service. We also provide employment services to students and high school diploma or equivalency, the GED or high set. So with the Next Step Center, the tracks that we have are soft skills. So in 8 weeks, in an 8-week program, our participants learn things like time management, communication, digital skills like apps and Zoom and email and Google search. Then the job readiness track, which takes 4 weeks. And that training includes teamwork, diversity awareness, computer skills such as Word and Outlook, Excel and PowerPoint, things that will help you be ready for the workplace. And then there's the professional development track, and that includes harm reduction, motivational interviewing, and occupational health and safety, which of course includes best practices during pandemic. And participants, as I said before, receive job search and employment coaching, and something else which is hidden by the little, oh, of course, employment coaching and employment services. These asterisks here show you that these are the lengths of the certificate program for soft skills, job readiness, professional development, but we also offer workshops in those. So one does not have to be signed up for the entire 8 weeks or 4 weeks. Our essential service jobs training. So this is 6 and 9 week programs are available, and they prepare participants for placement in essential service roles such as on-site monitor, hotel counselor for shelter-in-place hotels, and access point ambassadors helping others to access services. And as always, participants receive job search and employment coaching and services. So we help you search for a job, prepare to interview for the job, apply for the job, prepare to interview for the job, and we also provide retention services. Well, yum. So chefs, wonderful program. You can make this stuff if you are a chef student and you learn how to, you can certainly do it. Chefs offers culinary foundations such as kitchen safety and sanitation, which everybody who works in the kitchen has to know, the food handler certificate, and lots of hands-on work experience. Chefs, students prepare congregate meals such as meals for our seniors, and when the programs are running, and meals for our students. So if you are a student in our programs, you get a free lunch 4 days a week. But yeah, so lots of hands-on work experience. Chefs then also provides job readiness. You do a resume and a cover letter. You learn Google Suite so you can do a very effective job search. And as I mentioned before, job application support, and then employment services. You have an individual employment plan that maps out your job search and addresses any barriers that you might have, and weekly check-ins when you're doing your job search. Burial removal, I got ahead of myself. Burial removal includes things like you need public transportation fare to go to a job interview, for instance. You need help getting a phone. You need to find out how to access housing. All of those barriers are things that we very much enjoy helping our clients address. There is an opportunity in chefs to earn a weekly stipend, so that's something to bear in mind. Then our high school diploma or equivalency, the GED or high set program, is in partnership with 5 Keys, which the public defender mentioned earlier. And remote learning is available, and now in person individual tutoring is available. There's no charge, including the testing. So let's say you want to complete your high school credits, come and do it with us. Let's say you want to study for the GED or the high set, come on and join us, and we will also pay the fees for the testing. And let me look at my notes here to make sure that I have mentioned everything I want to mention. I just want to say that just some of the successes that that our students have experienced. Many of the former chef students are working in restaurants in San Francisco. Some of them are working in institutional kitchens because that's what they preferred. One of our students, within 9 months of being released from a decades-long incarceration, now has a house, a car, and a baby on the way. So as I've said before, if that's your thing, we've seen it done. It can happen. And some of our graduates are working in shelter-in-place hotels, and often students who complete their high school level education here, their secondary education, go on to take enroll in courses at City College and pursue their education and also career goals that way. So to get started, send an email telling us what you're interested in, which of our programs you're interested in, to workforce@cs-sf.org, right there on the screen, workforce. You can also call, for chefs, you can call Melanie, and there's the number, 415-487-3300, extension 6117. And for the Next Step Center or Educational Service Jobs Training, call me, Katherine, same number, 415-487-3300. I said that really fast, and maybe some people can't see the screen and have only called in, so let me say it more slowly. The number is 415-487-3300. Melanie's extension for chefs is 6117, and Katherine, my extension for the education and job training, is 1104. So thank you very much for letting me share this information with you, and we look forward to welcoming new people into our learning community.
Thank you so much, Katherine. That's those tasty plates that you show are very appealing at this moment for those that haven't had lunch yet.
It's lunchtime, and I'll tell you, I get so excited when staff get to go sometimes and taste and provide feedback. My feedback is useless because it's just always, oh my God, this is so good. But yes, they do great stuff.
Thank you so much for having those programs in place, which again are instrumental for the people that are looking for change. Those that don't want change, this is relevant, but for the people that want change, this is great opportunities because it can create a great future for them. So thank you.
Thanks for letting me share. Great.
Very good. Now we're going to move more into education, and we're going to invite Calbright College with Raul Sarabia. And thank you for being here. Share with us about what you have, and if you can share a bit of what you have done so far, because I know that your organization is new in the field of education, but yeah, talk to us about a little bit about Reentry, if you have accomplished anything, and also what are the opportunities? I know that also that your programs are free, but what else can be for the people that we're serving here?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Julio, for the invitation. I really enjoyed the videos, as Katherine and Mano stated. Enjoyed what Mano and Katherine have said as well. So at Calbright College, we are the 115th community college in the state of California. The only thing is that our college is very unique. It is unique in the way that we do not have a brick and mortar location. We are online, so we serve everyone all the way down from San Isidro by the border, all the way up to Humboldt by the Oregon California border, right? So the entire state, we try to encompass the entire state. All of our services are online. We're an online college. And again, we're also different in the sense that we don't provide, the traditional degrees, but we provide skill certificates. And the idea behind these skill certificates is that, the organizations that we partner up with and the different employers that, we have consulted with, they have, advised us to create these types of skill certificates because this is what these different industries are looking for, right? So these are industry leaders that have consulted with us, and we have created these certificates, with them in mind, with the purpose of our students, as soon as they wrap up their studies, they can easily find a job in these different industries, right? So our goal is to close the gap, right, between the different, the big gap of unemployment or the big wage gap that a lot of Californians are actually going through. Our main focus is adults between the ages of 25 and 64. That doesn't mean that we don't focus, anyone younger or older than that, but that's what's written in the legislation, so that's what we have to say, right? So, but to be honest, we help anyone from 18 to whatever. I think our eldest student, I believe, is 70 years old. So, and our youngest is 18. So again, we go anywhere from 18 to whatever, right? So yeah, so I'm gonna share my screen and talk a little bit about the different programs and services that are offered by our college. Again, as Julio said, we are fairly new. We just turned a year old last week. So I think we've done fairly well for being around for about a year. I came on board in March. I think maybe like 3 to 4 days before the stay-at-home orders happened and all that, and all that craziness that was going on, and all the unknowns and everything, right? But kind of seems like we all have a bit of a grip now on what's happening, or I guess we've all gotten used to this new normal, right? But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Just give me a sec here. All right, so Calbright College. So just a little bit of the overview of what I will talk about in my presentation, just pretty much Calbright College, who we are and what we do, who we are serving, our competency-based programs, and a little bit about partnerships and the opportunity to partner. So our mission, I'm going to go ahead and read our mission verbatim to you. Calbright College increases economic mobility for working adults who lack easy access to traditional forms of higher education. We offer flexible, free, skill-based programs that provide tangible economic value for both working adults and their future hiring managers. So Calbright College, right? So what the innovation for the CCC system. So in addition to serving non-traditional adult learners, we are also looking to partner with our sister colleges and be a complement to the work that is done by the other 114 colleges. So far, we've been able to create 2 official partnerships, MOU signed and everything, with Bakersfield College and also with Compton College, right? However, again, the opportunity to partner with other colleges is open, so we are working on some of that. I can't really mention what colleges yet, but once it's official, it'll be out on our website, right? So we pretty much meet students where they are, right? We try and help, our underserved students. And then I think now, especially how everything is just going online and everything is just digital, I think Calbright fits in perfectly with the new normal, right? So we're pretty much looking to close equity gaps. We are looking to connect those who are trapped, between education and trying to get a fulfilling career. So we understand that, a lot of our students are parents. A lot of our students sometimes even work 2 jobs, and they don't have the ability or the time, actually, more than anything, to go to class, right? Because as we all know, until you get out of work, you got to go home, maybe grab something quick to eat, If you have time, take a quick shower and, you know, take off to class, right? But if you have children, you know, maybe you have to help them with their homework, maybe you have to feed them, and then bang, there goes your time, and now you don't have time to go to class, right? So again, you know, the fact that we are online helps eliminate those barriers and helps eliminate, you know, any of those things that can prevent you from pursuing your education. So we, again, we are meant to complement everything that our sister colleges do. So let's say, for example, you come over to us and you finish up one of our certificate programs, because we are part of the CCC system. You can go ahead and go into any other college already because you are already part of the system, right? So again, we're not different at all. We're part of the same system. So who are we serving? As I said, you know, we're looking to serve the unemployed or, you know, working adults that are in, you know, low wage jobs with irregular hours, pretty much, right? So we in 2017, research showed that nearly 2 million Californians ages between, you know, 25 to 64 were working, but they were still living in poverty because they were not getting paid accordingly, right? And as we all know, especially in the Bay Area, rent prices are crazy, right? They're really high. So you can't really afford sometimes, you know, rent with only one job. Sometimes you have to get 2 jobs, and, you know, sometimes you need even a 3-income household to be able to afford the rent, right? But again, the purpose of our college is to provide you with the preparation for you to maybe only have 1 job. And with that 1 job, you'll be able to you know, offset some cost. And then what does that do for you as well? It also opens up, you know, some freedom. You know, now you maybe have your weekends off, and now you can spend more time with your families or do whatever you know, whatever you like to do. So again, we look to serve those that have been underserved by higher education. Again, these, you know, if you're working multiple jobs, if you're juggling multiple responsibilities, it's really hard to add another one. It's really hard to add, you know, your classes in there, because again, you know, as from my experience working full-time and going to school full-time as well, that's just like, that's like another job, and it's very difficult. And, you know, I have no children. I have, you know, no family like that. And it was difficult for me. I can only imagine what it's like for someone who has these other responsibilities, right? And again, we're looking to help anyone who's looking for change, as Julio was saying earlier. And our goal is to build a brand for all people. We are very mobile friendly. You can access our services. You can access your lectures and everything through your phone. We do our best to be accessible. We are doing our best to be in compliance with ADA. And again, the cool thing about our program is that, our programs, should I say, is that not only are we, you know, are they free? So that means you know, as many of you know, that if you have been, you know, incarcerated and charged with a felony, sometimes, you know, you're not able to apply for financial aid. However, with us, because our programs are free, that problem is out the window. You don't have to apply for financial aid again, because our free programs. And you know, being very mobile friendly, you know, based on our research and our data with our current students now, the majority of our students actually do their lectures and do their stuff through their phone. And, you know, and also, you know, to remove that barrier of accessibility, if you are a Calbright student, all you have to do is sign a waiver, and we send a Chromebook and a hotspot over to you. That way, you know, you have your own laptop and your hotspot dedicated to work, so you can work pretty much anywhere. You carry that stuff with you, and you can take care of it even in the car, right? So yeah, just some of the perks, right, of being a Calbright student. And so what makes us different, right? This is what makes us probably the biggest difference between us and the rest of the colleges. We are competency-based education. So what does CBE mean? It is a flexible approach to teaching and learning where progress is measured by learning, so demonstrated skills and knowledge and skills, and not time in class, right? So traditionally, let's say, for example, I'm enrolled, you know, at a traditional college. I'm taking 3 units of, I don't know, sociology, right? And my grades, and so typically 3 units means you have to spend 3 hours in the classroom. So it would be split, maybe Mondays and Wednesdays you go to class, right? However, because we are competency-based education, You earn your certificates with us by demonstrating that you've mastered the lesson, that you've mastered the program, rather than the time that you spent, doing the program, right? So because our focus is on skills-based training, if students also have prior experience that is related to their pathway of choice, then you can even skip through a lot of the curriculum because you've already mastered it based on your experience, right? So you can test out of a lot of things and you advance your pathway to get your certificate. And then, the benefits of this, students have well-defined learning goals. It's flexible pacing. That's just a fancy way of saying at your own pace. It's personalized. You have your own success coach that is with you every step of the way. And then employers, again, as I was saying, employers have provided, this key insight and feedback. And this is why our programs are designed this way, because the different employers that we, industry leaders that we have consulted with have told us that, this is what they are looking for when they are hiring people. So we will have responsive education industry training programs. And, these address the equity gaps and the economic mobility gaps that are needed by a lot of Californians. So these are our 3 pathway programs. We only have 3 right now, but we are working on another 3. Again, we're only 1 year old. So we're hoping by January, we have rolled out another 3 programs. So these 3 programs, so we, very similar to Katherine, we provide you training with soft skills. You must pass that soft skills before you're able to get into your, into one of the 3 pathways, right? So again, these soft skills, they teach you how to, we call it netiquette, right? How to write a proper email, how to act properly on social media if you have it, how to, how to learn how to speak to, clients, learn how to speak to supervisors. It's pretty much like a bit of like a discipline, I guess lectures, right, on discipline, on how to act and how to speak and how to write in the workplace. We show you how to work with G Suite. We show you how to work with the Microsoft Suite, and just the different things that you will probably encounter more than likely at any specific job. So these are our 3 pathways. IT support. We give you pretty much support. With IT, you get the CompTIA Plus test. We pay for everything, right? We pay for your book. We pay for the test for you. You have 2 free 2 free tries to try and pass the CompTIA Plus test. At the 3rd one, if you don't pass, then we have you restart some of the lectures, right? So that way you can be prepared for it, and then you go ahead and take it one more time. But we haven't had any issues with that. Our students usually pass them at the first try. We have cybersecurity, and if with cybersecurity, if that interests you, what a lot of our students are doing is they're getting their IT support certificate, and then they're transferring into the cybersecurity realm. A lot of our students are really enjoying that, especially there's pretty much like there's a shortage of people needed for cybersecurity. So that's a huge deal. And our certificates are stackable, right? So the more like skills and the more certificates you stack, the more you open yourself up for, to be hired, right? The more appealing you are to hiring managers, and they're gonna want you at their company, at their organization. And we also have medical coding. For right now, our medical coding program is closed. We have a pretty good amount of students that are in medical coding. And as we start graduating our students, they'll go ahead and, we'll start opening some more chairs for that. So again, I anticipate this opening up again in January. And on top of that, the 3 new programs that we will be offering, I can't give you exactly the names now because it's confidential info, but they will be in the human services aspect, right? And our student success experience. So if you're asking, you're in online college, if I need help, like who do I speak to? Like, if I run into trouble, like, where do I go? So these are different areas, right, of our student services or student success experience. So we have welcome services, academic advising, success coaching, student engagement and career services, student support services, and then we have our admissions and records, office or program as well, right? So I'll go ahead and talk about welcome services, right? So they are our frontline support for prospective and enrolled students. So they are the first people that you speak to when you call our college or when you email us or text us. These are the people that will go ahead and connect you with the different offices or different people that are needed based on what you're looking for. We have academic advising. So our academic advisors, they go ahead and create a comprehensive educational plan for you. So based on your goals, based on your needs, and based on what your definition of success is, our academic advisors will go ahead and create a personalized plan for you. And again, if you are looking to, you get your certificates with us, but maybe now you're looking to go into the traditional colleges, they will create a pathway that will help you transfer easily into the traditional colleges, right? And again, because you are already part of us, you're already part of the CCC system, so it's just a really smooth transition. All you have to do is just tell them, hey, after you, I would like to go to City College or whatever college of your choice. Our success coaches, right? So our program pathway support and retention. It is data-informed, personalized support. So they are checking in with you typically before and after you complete a lecture, just to make sure that everything was good, that you understood everything, and if you needed to repeat that lecture, if you would like, if you had additional questions to that, then your success coach can go ahead and answer that for you. So it's like they are your personalized, again, coach that will go ahead and help you out with whatever you need. They are right there with you from beginning to end. Our career services, so we do various touch points throughout the student journey. So we have workshops and virtual events. We have one-on-one career support. We have resource hubs. We try to do a lot is we bring in a lot of people who are working in various industries to talk about what a typical day in their industry or in their job would look like. So there it is, right? Workshops, so we have career material readiness, we have mock interviews, we teach you how to use LinkedIn. If you're not familiar with LinkedIn, LinkedIn is, I like to call it a professional Facebook, where you're able to just throw your skills on there, and you're able to even you could even put on there that you're open to employment. And there's people, from all over that are looking to hire. And if your profile says you're open to employment, or you're open to at least listening to someone, they will message you, and sometimes even, invite you to an interview over the phone, or again via Zoom. And again, virtual events, right? So a day in life, ask me anything, virtual job fairs, career days. We even do virtual job shadowing. And then our resource hub, so it's pretty much how to, right? How to apply, how to do a resume, how to use different resources to help you with your how help you navigate these different ways or different avenues to find jobs. So again, topics covered: resumes, LinkedIn, best practices. We teach you how to do an elevator pitch, and then also online job searching. So we are in alignment with the rest of the California community colleges. And again, we are with the Competency-Based Education Network, CBEN for short. So they they have helped us create our curriculum. And again, competency-based means that it's not time that you spent in the classroom or time that you spent doing the lectures, but how well you were able to master these lectures, right? So competency, how good are you at these things, right? So again, we are not looking for how long it took you, but we're looking for how well you've learned the material. And then just a little bit about the COVID-19 crisis and response, right? This is what we were able to gather from data, right? There are 8.4 million skilled workers without four-year degrees in the California's workforce. That is 42.9% of the active workforce in the state. That's pretty bad, right? And then the employment crisis caused by COVID-19 is hitting especially those without any formal education the hardest. So although we encourage you, again, that's what we were saying, if you're looking for change, if you're looking for something different, if you're looking to level up, excuse me, if you're looking to level up, if you're looking to for something different for you and your families, I definitely encourage you to check us out. I definitely encourage you to give us an opportunity to at least talk to you and kind of possibly guide you and help you with these different different questions, different whatever you're looking for. Maybe if we don't have it, maybe we can refer you to a college that does, right? So You know, we're not in competition with anybody. We're here to help you out. We're here to, you know, help you try and be better, right? And reach your definition of success. And that's it for my presentation. And then as Julio was saying, you know, we have about like 10 to 12 students who were formerly incarcerated. We don't have a formal pathway or a formal relationship with any prisons or any jails yet. We are looking to do so. I think it would be a great opportunity, not only for us, but for, you know, anyone who is looking for these types of educational services. And from the feedback that I've gotten from these students, they've told me that they enjoy the fact that this is competency based and you're not really tied to a chair as you would be in a traditional college. You know, this is, you know, again, flexible at your own pace. You can be, you know, feeding your child while you're, you know, on the computer, you know, knocking out some lectures, right? I think it's a very new model. It's very different to what a lot of people are used to. And if you are not from, you know, higher education is very traditional. A lot of people are scared of new. A lot of people are scared of changes. But, you know, we're here to try and change the game, or not even change the game, but just add a whole different, you know, a whole different aspect to it. And again, we're looking to, we would love to partner up with Katherine's organization, maybe with Mano. I would love to continue a partnership with, you know, with Julio and the Archdiocese. So yeah, we're open to it. We're here to serve. We're here to help. And if you were to have any questions, I can go ahead and put my contact info on the chat. Julio can also share it out with you. I have no problem with that at all. So I appreciate you. Thank you for your time. Go from there.
Thank you, Raul. Thank you. Yeah, it's a unique service in another way to complete your education. You are both accredited and a nonprofit, correct?
So we're a college. We're a college. So accreditation.
You can share it quickly because
quickly, right? Accreditation takes 5 years. However, we are looking to be accredited by next summer. So we're moving fast, and we're knocking all that out. But don't worry about our degrees. Our degrees are industry certified. They're approved by the state. We're funded by the state. We're another college. We're another part of, but we're just different in the sense that we are online. So we're like the state's response or the public response to, you know, Western Governors University, Southern New Hampshire, you know, all those universities that are for-profit, online for-profit, University of Phoenix. So we're the state's response to that, right? So yeah, we're public college. I'll go ahead and put my info on the chat. So again, I thank you, Julio. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much. We're gonna move now to Medical Works with Kyle Wicks and Bobby Jones. Thank you for being here again and share with us. You probably had to cut it a little short in 10 minutes because unfortunately.
No worries. Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask, Julio.
Yeah,
no problem. Thanks again, Julio. Good to be here again with some great panelists again, a couple friendly faces. And good to recognize some of the new programs that have come through. My name's Kyle Wicks. I'm the director of America Works for our San Francisco and Fresno programs. And I'm joined here too by my colleague, Bobby Jones-Hanley, who is our reentry program case manager. And so he'll talk a little bit about our service delivery. And just real quick, I'll blow through some of these to save a little bit of time, but it helps to have a little bit of background on America Works, where we've been, where we came from, and understand where we're going. So we were started in 1984 by a couple who wanted to start the organization out of emphasizing work and recognizing that individuals have skills and knowledge to apply somewhere to some job to start on their career path, at least as a stepping stone. And they started the company because at the time in 1984, public benefits roles were highly stressed and overused. And so they recognized that there's got to be potential within that benefits users pool and help those individuals find and realize their potential and return back to work. And so they started the company with a mission that anybody coming into our doors is in the right place, and that we're here to equip them with the tools to provide for themselves as well as their loved ones. Through those experiences, over 12 years, they became experts in this field and were brought on by the White House in 1996 to help then President Clinton reform the welfare bill. And then since then, we've gone on to today to be serving over 1 million individuals in finding employment. And we can get into a little bit about where we're at. We're in 12 states plus DC, so in total about 27 cities. And we work with, of course, justice-involved individuals who we're here to talk about today, but we also work with veterans, people who receive public cash benefits, and also recipients of supplemental security income and Social Security disability insurance. And I'll let Bobby get into here in a moment the services that you can read there briefly, but our approach is really to be developing relationships with, of course, clients and helping them, like I say, realize their potential. But also we do that by providing services as an extension of the government. So we work through government-related contracts and really putting into action the vision that government entities have recognized for the needs that they've assessed within the community and specific populations. So such as our justice-involved funded programming at some of our sites. Of course, like I mentioned, our clients, but also businesses. We're a jobs-first approach. We help individuals take their existing potential and apply it again somewhere as a stepping stone and help them create a comprehensive work plan that lays out a vision for themselves on how to advance themselves within their careers, partially by being a referral source to some of the great organizations you've heard on this call today, and leaning on those services, but being kind of the central hub, if you will, to help facilitate those relationships with those entities, but help individuals understand how to access them and leverage those other resources into an actionable plan that, again, puts them on a path for constant progression and self-sufficiency. And so a huge piece of another relationship critical to our services is businesses. So we don't just develop a superficial relationship with businesses. We truly go in trying to understand what makes a business tick, what makes them successful, and what is their ideal candidate pool, so that we can go back and not only help individuals match their skill sets to a job, but also help individuals skill up or gain education or realize their past experiences in informal work or formal work and how it might apply to a specific business. And so adapting their understanding of their skill sets. And so I'll let Bobby cruise through talking about our service delivery.
Right. Thanks, Kyle, for giving a top-level overview of America Works and what we do, not only here in San Francisco, but throughout the nation. I also just wanted to thank Julio in the Archdiocese, as well as all the presenters today. Really seeing, like, this particular panel today was really awesome to see from the start of somebody that's reentry to the end, right? When you first started out and that crime had been committed, but then look at all of the different resources, all the different professionals and organizations that are really wanting to help you to succeed. That's one of the things that we really want to do, is be able to give you those tools and the assistance so that you can not only succeed in your personal life, but also professionally. Now I want to spend the next few minutes kind of giving you an idea of what you can expect in getting involved with us. Like every other organization, we'll start out with an intake process, and this kind of gives us an idea of what skills you already have and what you're looking for. We combine this intake process with an assessment tool. This kind of differentiates us with a lot of other organizations. This assessment tool really helps us to lay a foundation to be able to help our clients to actually be able to realize their potential. Often many clients will come in and they'll have an idea of what they're wanting to immediately do. They're like, yeah, I need a job, right? My probation officer says I need to start working, or I need to start making some money. I got to support my family. But then also the thing is we realize that if you are lacking certain education or vocational training, then that's a re-entry level or an entry level position. And really what we want to do is be able to have that holistic approach and look at what can we do to assist you, not only in the short term, but the long term, right? And so when we use this assessment tool, it helps us to really look not only to your immediate short-term goals, but also really think about what you're ultimately wanting to do in your career, right? And so by using this assessment tool, we can look together, sit down together and take a look at what your ultimate career interests are, what you're still needing in terms of education and training. And then we'll use this information to map out a plan to achieve it. And you'll see this leads into the third arrow, right? Which is that creating that individual work plan. You know, and so some of you may be saying, you know, well, what is this individual work plan? What does that look like? And you can kind of think of it like a business plan, but for yourself, career-wise, right? And so really what that does is it allows us to create a roadmap and plan out, you know, not only your short-term goals, but also where you're ultimately wanting to achieve long-term, right? And this is why this initial intake and that assessment were so important in the beginning, right? They gave us the information that we needed to be able to figure out how we can actually help you to reach your potential, you know, and to continuously progress towards those ultimate goals. And so that you can not only become self-sufficient, but like the public defender's office mentioned earlier today, so that you can actually thrive, right? And actually all the panelists mentioned it. You know, we want you to be able to succeed, not only just paycheck to paycheck, but how can you have time to where you can really enjoy your life, enjoy your family, enjoy your friends, right? And still, you know, be self-sufficient and be a productive member of the society. The next step that we get into is the job readiness training. Now, for some people, you may already have a lot of job readiness preparation, right? And so we can kind of put you through a fast track of, you know, getting together your resume, you know, helping you write cover letters, and then, you know, doing like a rapid preparation for interviewing, right? And how to understand like what the fair chance law is here in San Francisco, and then how to navigate that. Other people may need a little bit more assistance with the job readiness preparation, and we can put you through a week-long training of doing different activities such as learning how to present yourself, right? Building the resume, interviewing, knowing what the expectations are in the workplace, and then also knowing how to navigate the employment field, you know, when you have a record, right? And so understanding what it is that you can do and how you can utilize your skills so that you can pitch yourself to these employers to be able to land that job now, but also in the future. We also have, just a side note, we have a catalog of over 50 videos and training presentations to assist with this, but also we do it on site as well. And then this kind of leads into that next phase, which is the job placement assistance, and then finally the retention. All right, and that's, you know, that's that ultimate place of, you know, when you first, where are you going? How are we going to help you get there? How are we going to help you navigate this and get you placed in a position that's going to link with your ultimate career goals? Right, you know, so what we want to do is, that's why we create that comprehensive plan right from the beginning, and then we continuously work with you both in your short-term and your long-term goals. And just one other quick thing to note, because I know we're short on time. If you note below all the arrows, you'll see that we have in that first box, you know, or the first section, that has an administrative assistant and a corporate representative. And the corporate representative is what I am. So I'm a reentry case manager. Then you'll see the corporate representative again, you'll see a trainer and a facilitator, and you'll see a sales representatives, right? All of those different people are working together to be able to assist you in achieving your career short-term and long-term goals. So you have a team working behind you to assist you along this path, right? And that's something that I want just to really make clear, is this: anybody can go along this path and try to get a job by themselves, but how much better could you do when you have a team that's behind you? You know, and so one of the things is because we're giving you our all, right, and putting everything that we can to assist you into improving your current state, but also achieving your long-term goals, we also expect and want you to be putting into it as well, right? And so, like anything, the more that you put into something, the more that you're going to be able to get out of it. And when you have a team behind you, then you're going to have the best shot at success, and not only successful reintegration, but success both short-term and in your long-term career goals. Kyle?
Yeah, that's great. Thanks for the overview of the service delivery. And just a couple things to add on that. All these services are free. You're not charged for anything with our assistance. We're here longer term as well. So you might go through our services and find yourself maybe needing a refresher a year from now. Our doors are always open. We're here for ongoing support. And as Bobby mentioned, a supportive team that team doesn't go away once you start to find success. We want to be there to help celebrate those successes and help highlight those for other individuals coming in behind you, so to speak. And we really create community change and work with you, with these other great providers on these panels as well as other panels, and ultimately help you realize your potential. We're not doing these things for you. These are things that individuals are already equipped with the abilities to take control of things in their life and move themselves forward. We just play an assistance role. And so I won't spend too much time on this page and we can wrap it up, but I'll just highlight some of the successes. We're a specialized access point here in San Francisco for reentry, have been doing so for a couple of years. Ultimately, we've had about 60% of the 219 individuals who create work plans stay employed for at least 90 days, many of whom longer. We've run a Baltimore bail diversion program for the last about 3 years, and something that's some aspects of which are integrated into our current method and logic for how we conduct our services here, where we've assisted nearly 78% of people who had partaken in our program have their cases dropped or dismissed. So those are just a couple of stats that I'll touch on just to give some level of indication on our community impact and our assistance with individuals moving themselves forward. I think Bobby may have dropped our form in the chat that you can fill out and with your contact information. Otherwise, you can Google America Works and we will come up with our contact information there too. Would love to be able to assist you in moving yourselves forward and helping you not only connect with us, but help facilitate connections to these other great presenters on this panel, as well as throughout the resource fair that you've looked at it at other time slots. So thanks again, Julio. Really appreciate the panelists today as well, and hope to be seeing you guys soon.
Yeah, thank you very much, everyone. Public Defender and Raul, Bobby, Kyle, and Katherine, thank you for being here. We need to close now because we have our next session immediately, but thank you for being here and being part of the Reentry conference. God bless. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Raul.